Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So I like to put out a lumber update video at least once a week to kind of keep you guys in tune of what's going on with the lumber industry and what I see happening in the lumber industry. And I didn't put one out this weekend. I actually held off a little bit on putting out a lumber update video because I really just didn't have any new information for you. Everything is still the same. Mills are pumping out as fast as they can. They're backlogged. They have demand going off the charts, and there's very little supply. This is keeping the lumber prices very elevated. And what I found interesting about this is that we are now heading in to the building season. I mean, we are 6 weeks away from the beginning of the building season, and we are now touching all-time highs in lumber. It hit yesterday at like $950 per thousand. Today it was up around $930. It dropped down a little bit, but the all-time high is around $1,000 per thousand, and we are not that far away from it. And if you look at the retail prices, ultimately we're there. We are there in the retail pricing. Put that in perspective. I sold a 2x6 104 5/8 stud today for $15.86. Now, a 2x6 104 5/8, it's a pre-cut stud. Last March, I sold those things for $5.50. Isn't that incredible? The pricing of framing has gone through the roof. I mean, they were talking about $10,000, $15,000 increase to the average framing package to build last year. We're going to see even higher this year. I would not be surprised to see better than $20,000 added cost to framing come this summer if things are going to continue the way they are. And I have no doubt in my mind that we are going to have issues this summer, because right now, this is the slow time. This is the slow time of the season. You would expect things to drop, inventories to rise. You would not expect to be hitting all-time highs. This is not a usual circumstance. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you guys about is I want to bring you guys information that I have never heard before, that I'm getting from the vendors or from the higher up. Okay? Get this. There is going to be a shortage of door jamb material. This is crazy to think about. This is something that I didn't even try and wrap my head around when all the shortages were taking place. I did not even think about door jambs. Okay, here's the thing about door jamb material. There is one pretty much basic interior door jamb that everybody buys. Now, when I say this, there's a lot of different options, but there's one that is the main product. That's an interior 4 9/16 wide double rabbited prime jamb. Very simple piece. Anybody who knows anything about construction and doors would say that this is not a big deal, and it's not. It is a very simple product. But there is a shortage of them, and the reason is that they're imported from another country. There are domestic manufacturers of this stuff, and they are working at full steam to provide the door companies with the product so that they can pre-hang their doors. Now, this is the way most people order doors, is that you can either order it just the slab, which is just basically the door itself, or you can order it pre-hung, which is the jamb that goes around the door. So when the installer goes to put it in, they don't have to hang the door on on a board that's hinged. It's already hinged and it's in a casing, and you just need to put that casing in, if that makes it simple enough to understand. So when it's a new construction, it's all about timing. Right? If it takes you longer to put that door in, that costs money. And if you cannot have that door pre-hung, then you have to hang it yourself, and that is a major time constraint. Everything is about time. How fast can you get it? How fast can you get it into place? That's new construction. And anything that lags that is an added cost. And this is what we're going to experience. If we cannot get those door jambs in and pre-hang those doors, then going to the job site means that you're not going to just drop the doors into place. You're not going to be able to trim it. You're not going to be able to do a lot of work. You're going to have to do a bunch more stuff before the door can go into place. Now, I know a lot of people are probably shaking their head thinking that this is not a big deal. It's a very big deal. Every new construction job uses these things, every one of them, and there's going to come a shortage of them. The options are going to be do it yourself, which is going to be costly, or You can take it down to a lesser material. You can take it down to like an MDF, which stands for medium density fiber. It's not made of, it's real wood, but it's compressed. It's like particle board. And the jambs are junk. Now, a lot of people might argue with me about that. I've been doing this business a long time. I personally would not want MDF jambs in my house. The other option is to go with like a clear hemlock. And this is very expensive. So you can either go to junk or you can go to a very expensive alternative. This is something that has taken place right now. They are scrambling right now to secure these things. And here's the other thing that I found interesting is that the product that they do have, because they do have some imports coming. I mean, they it's been a supply chain shock. So there's a lot of issues right now as far as getting it, but they do have it on order. They're expecting it. They don't know exactly when. And here's the thing. They don't know what the price is until it actually ships. This could be a very big deal. This could cause the price of these door jambs to go incredibly high. If there's no supply and the demand is high, the prices go through the roof. The shipping containers coming from, well, put it this way, the gentleman that I was talking about it, because it was one of the suppliers that supplies us with the doors, he was telling me about this. And he said typically when they would get a container, the freight on that container would be $1,700. He says now it's $5,500 for that same shipping. Isn't that incredible? Shipping is going through the roof. The supply of it is almost non-existent. Can't find it anywhere. This is going to be some interesting times. I'm not sure quite what to expect from this. Now, I know the door companies that I have talked to, they are doing their best right now to secure the door jambs that they need in order to, fulfill the customers' demands for them. But he's already telling me that there is going to be a crunch. There's going to be a supply crunch in this, and there's going to be issues with it. And so that you should be wary that you may end up having to take these jambs down to an MDF, a lesser quality, or you're going to have to step it up to the clear hemlock and paint them, which is going to be very costly. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there for you guys to, especially for the construction workers out there, for the the people who are watching these videos for the lumber information, the lumber updates to, kind of gear the idea for their projects. That's something that I would take wary of, is that if you're expecting on ordering doors here in the next, 2-3 months for your project, you might run into an area where where your supplier may not have the door jambs to wrap those doors with, and you have to take it down to a lesser or up to a higher quality. Anyway, just thought I'd put that out there for you guys. I'm not sure what else to add to that, except that I can only assume that if this is happening with the door jambs, that we're going to find it taking place in other materials as well. A lot of stuff, a lot of building materials come out of China, and there has been a major disruption in the supply chain of that. So, all right, uneducated economist, you guys let me know.